I remember the sound before the silence, the crack of the gun, sharp enough to cut the air in half. The smell of coffee mixed with gunpowder still lingers in my head. Angela was on the floor, eyes open but seeing nothing. Sharon's hand was still raised like she could stop a bullet with her palm. She couldn't. It wasn't supposed to end like that. I only meant to scare them, to make them listen. But control is an illusion. One moment you're holding it, the next, it's holding you. The house was too quiet, too bright. The sound of their breathing had stopped, and mine was the only one left. That's when I realized what I'd done wasn't rage. It was inevitability. They found me 3 hours later, sitting in my truck outside the woods. I didn't run right away. I wanted to, but part of me needed to see how long it would take them to find me. The flashing lights in the distance looked like tiny stars dying one by one. The agents didn't talk much that first night. They just watched. I could tell they were trying to figure out if I was calculating or broken. The truth was both. I knew every trail, every back road between Lake Providence and the river. I'd hunted there as a kid. I knew how to disappear. And for months, I did, staying with people who didn't ask questions, trading silence for safety. But even in hiding, I couldn't escape the sound of that second shot. It echoed differently. It didn't sound like anger. It sounded like choice. When you live in the dark long enough, your thoughts start whispering back at you. The woods became my confession booth. Every branch snap felt like a question I couldn't avoid. I replayed that night over and over. The way Angela looked at me, not with fear, but pity. Like she'd already given up on me long before I pulled the trigger. The people who helped me, they thought they were protecting a friend, but they didn't know what I was running from. I wasn't escaping the law. I was escaping myself. The manhunt became background noise. Helicopters, dogs, radio chatter. None of it mattered. What mattered was the silence after each chase, when I realized the only person hunting me worth fearing was me. I started to remember things differently. Not what happened, but what I wanted to believe happened. That's when I knew I'd crossed a line I couldn't come back from. They finally caught me outside a fishing cabin near the lake. No shootout, no drama, just headlights and the soft click of a safety being switched off. When they put me in the chair, the agent asked me, why? Not how, not when, just why. I told him the truth. Angela wasn't just my wife. She was the only person who ever saw through me. She knew the version of me I tried to bury, the boy who grew up angry, the man who blamed the world for every crack in his own reflection. Sharon tried to pull her away from me. She thought she was saving her. Maybe she was. It wasn't jealousy. It wasn't betrayal. It was power. The kind that makes you believe love is ownership. And when ownership slips away, you take it back by force. When they played the 911 tape in front of me, I didn't flinch. Angela's voice was steady, calm, even as she whispered my name. She said, "He's coming back." That's the part I can't outrun. The agent asked if I felt remorse. I said no. Not because I didn't care, because the word doesn't fit. What I feel isn't guilt, it's clarity. The moment I pulled that trigger, I stopped being who I thought I was. They think justice is a sentence, a cage, a punishment. But real justice is knowing exactly what you are and never being able to unknow it. The cell is quiet, always has been. Some nights I hear the lake wind through the vent, and it almost sounds like her voice again. Calm, distant, final. People think confession brings peace. It doesn't. It just makes the silence heavier. I've accepted what I did. I've accepted what I am. There's no redemption, no closure. Only the truth that follows me like a shadow that never fades. They'll write reports. They'll say justice was served. But they'll never understand that justice was never about mercy. It was about truth, and the truth always bleeds cold.